Good morning, everyone. This is Sunday, July the 12th. Can you believe it already? And I am Reverend Judy Hildebrand, one of the ministers at Unity in Mesa. I will be joined today with Mark Stanton Welch, an incredible spiritual being on this planet who has supported the Southwest region for over a decade with song, with story, with spiritual wisdom. And we are blessed and grateful to have him today as our guest musician and speaker. So hope you enjoy our service. But first, let us open in prayer. I've already lit the Christ candle, that candle which represents the divine spirit within each and every one of us. It is one of the symbols that we consistently use in unity. And so with that, we affirm, I am that I am. And right now, that's just really important to affirm who we are. I am that I am. And let us take that into prayer. And so we turn within and we take a deep breath. And we know this is the breath of spirit, that which breathes us. And for those who are experiencing struggle, challenge, maybe some of the symptoms of making contact with this now infamous infamous virus, we just hold them in love and in light, seeing that innate healing power of the divine moving in and through them, activating each and every cell to do its work, to ignite those healing powers within. And we hold them and their families in love and light, seeing them find a peaceful space so that all of the energy goes towards healing. We see them whole, we see them perfect, we see them divine. And for all of the chaos within the world today, we hold space for that which is to come, because it is out of chaos that change comes. We hold that this change comes for the better, knowing that each and every one of us, with our prayer work, with our words, and with our actions, contribute to what evolves, through this time of chaos. And we are grateful to be I am that I am, holding the power of the divine and allowing our hands and our voices to be the outpicturing of the divine. And so it is. Amen. And now I turn it over to Mark Stanton Welch to do our music his magic. Well, I take care of the foster dog, which just came in and is ripping open a book. Blessings. See you in a few minutes.
Opa! I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, hey, hey. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, hey, hey. In these moments I am given, in situations called to me, I now choose the path of living. I now choose what sets me free. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, in these moments I am given, in situations called to me, I now choose this path of living. I now choose what sets me free. Oh, I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, L'chaim.
Thank you, Mark, so much. I always enjoy your music. And now that we're back, and the dog only just took a corner off the book, The Universe is Calling by Eric Butterworth. I guess maybe that book is calling to this dog who is looking for a permanent home and hoping that the universe is hearing his wishes. We need to share a little bit of information with you. Are you missing that time after service in the garden where you grab a cup of coffee, a snack, and chat with old and new friends? I do. I miss having you guys there. I miss seeing you guys. So please join myself and Reverend Kathy and possibly Mark after service today in our virtual garden. It's not too late to sign up, to jump in and say hi by registering on our website now, unityofmesa.org, and you will be sent a Zoom link. Don't wait until the end of the service or we might miss you. And if you would like our prayer chaplains to pray for you or someone you care about, go to our Unity Cares page under the Ministries tab for prayer request forms. There you will also find information on direct prayer support and other spiritual support we offer. And when you request prayer, the first names are sent forward to our prayer chaplains. And the chaplains have all been trained in confidentiality and how to hold this space and to support your prayer requests. So really invite you to, let's use prayer. It works. And Unity Cares. Soon after the church building was closed, our Unity Cares team was created, and they reached out to every member of the congregation who we had a phone number for. We never imagined we would still be staying safe by staying home into July. But here we are. So our care team is once again being called forth to reach out. If you didn't receive a call last time and would like one, please email your name and phone number to admin@unityofmesa.org. We've been talking about a survey for a few weeks now, but with the number of COVID cases rising in Arizona, and the businesses being shut back down, we need to reevaluate a few of our questions so they make more sense. Our survey is still coming, but probably not until next week or the week after, and we will give you advance notice. Spirit groups begin this week, tomorrow, and we still have a couple of spots open. If you're interested, register on our spirit groups page this afternoon. Don't wait, as the group meetings start as early as tomorrow. So along with our spirit groups, we're also doing spiral dynamics starting this Sunday. It's a 12:30 class. And I have a recording here from Reverend Pat Venema, who's going to be the instructor. And she'd like to share a little bit of what she plans on doing with you all.
Greetings, everyone. This is Rev Pat Venema, and I'm looking forward to meeting you next Sunday with our conversations about spiral dynamics. I've been invited to teach this to you guys just so that you'll have a language in which you can use to talk about the tough issues that are going on in our world right now with COVID-19 and the rise in demand for justice for races and for facing our white privilege and the expectations that we have as white people, the blindness that we have to the other people in our society. How can we talk about these issues without getting emotional, without getting defensive, without defending our paradigm? And yet we all, as unity people, want to live in community. We want to understand each other. We want to not only tolerate, but love and include others. But we need to start with some sort of language that we can talk about things without getting defensive. That's a tough one, but that's our integral practice, our practice of trying to be the Christ consciousness in this world. So I'm going to give you a language that is used by the evolutionaries called spiral dynamics. And it'll help us to have some way to talk about the different paradigms that we have in our belief systems and to understand what other people's belief systems are, to empathize, to value their values as we isolate the values and the norms. So I know lots to say, lots to think about. I hope you'll join us for our first time where I can explain the spiral. And then as we move on for the next 3 weeks, we'll discuss the implications and the insights that the spiral dynamics gives us to handle all the questions that we're facing right now in our world. So with meditative openings and intentions set for clear minds, open hearts, I invite you to join us to see where this might go, to help your community understand each other, to empathize, to have compassion, and to really live the Christ consciousness within your community at Unity of Mesa. I hope you'll join us. See you soon. Bye.
So thank you, Pat. And please, everyone, sign up on our class meeting page immediately so you can receive the link in time for today's class. I know it's going to be an informative and heart-opening and maybe give us some ways to approach life a little bit differently. It's only 4 sessions if you want to do the whole thing, or you can do drop in all the fees for the class, go to help support her ministry, and we are splitting the fees, so it will also help Unity of Mesa. And Reverend Kathy is doing a 5-minute Bible talk every Friday morning at 10 o'clock on Facebook. So take a lesson, then join the discussion on the 2nd and 4th Fridays at 7 p.m. And I'm sure those are going to be lively discussions, as in the spiral dynamics and your spirit groups. It's a chance to talk. It's a chance to engage, a chance to interact. So join Kathy. You know, I mean, really, what else are you doing on Friday nights? Because most of you are not going out to the bars and socializing, I don't think, right? So join Kathy and some of your like-minded friends to have some discussion. And even though we are not physically in our buildings, we do continue to be responsible for the upkeep of facility and staff. And we're so grateful for your financial gifts that support this spiritual home so that we might continue to enlighten, empower, and energize one another to uplift our world through a greater expression of God. There are many ways offered in which you can give indirectly by ordering books through our website and adding Unity Church of the East Valley as your favorite charity on Smile, Amazon, and Fry's Rewards, and directly through online giving using the Give Plus app or by sending a check. And yes, we do pick up the mail every day. All this info and more can be found on our website, unityofmesa.org. If you're watching on YouTube, just click the link in the description. And now I invite you to take the gift of love in your hands. Hold that love there. Hold it sweet, cup it. Don't squish it. Don't smash it. And say with me our offering blessing. Divine love flowing through me. blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Spirit of Abundance. And now it's my honor and privilege to turn it over to this incredible gentleman, Mark Stanton Welch. Take it away, Mark.
Now I invite you to prepare for meditation, to go to a place where you can receive. My eyes are open wide. My heart is filled with love. I am the perfect work of God. My eyes are open wide. My heart is filled with love. I am the perfect work of God. And breathe in. Become aware of your feet touching the earth. And allow yourself to bring up the energy from the sweet and blessed earth into your body, to cleanse, to clear, to empower, to amplify the higher frequencies and release that which is no longer of service to you. Breathe in, breathe out. Now I invite you to be receptive, to allow your cells, your tissue, your viscera, your energetic bodies to receive information, to receive celestial truths and high vibration statements that will trigger your own remembering, to allow you then to put into motion in the form, in the manner that you choose, that is in alignment with your whole being. Receive. I am on a beautiful adventure to remember consciously who I am by design. I am not alone on this journey. I am so much more than I have allowed myself to be. Nothing is as it seems. There is always another multidimensional viewpoint to look at and to look from. I must take good faith action forward to activate the endless support available to me. The outer reflects the inner unequivocally. I stay clear and clean on the inside to experience the life I deserve and I desire. My body is designed for longevity and absolute health. Believing so is a pathway that activates that manifestation. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Now breathe in and allow yourself to let all of that information, that frequency, integrate into your being, into your cells, into the places where activation occurs to release the deeper truth of you. My eyes are open wide. My heart is filled with love. I am the perfect work of God. And so it is. Well, hello. A blessed morning to you. I am so delighted to be back here in Arizona, specifically at Unity of Mesa, a place with so many memories, so many years of coming and being a part of your experience there through a huge variety of ways. Here we are. This is a powerful morning. This is an opportunity to step into new frequencies and for us to begin to experience higher vibrational living. Not that you aren't already, but the intention this morning is to jumpstart a few things. So I've called in some of the big guns here this morning. You can see over my left shoulder. They look pretty tiny from a distance, but the Cowardly Lion and the Tin Man. This is what's needed in these times. Courage and heart. Compassion and a willingness to take action. You'll notice there's no scarecrow. The mind isn't invited to this party right now because the mind gets too distracted and convoluted and loves to admire itself. So, thank you so much. We'll use you a little bit here and there, but right now we're going to rely upon these two stalwarts. And so we go. It's a new world. There's a new world. It is rising out of the old ways. That's not surprising. Straight through these hearts that have been opened, there is a wholeness. Feel it growing. And from the separation, isolation, no direction world, I see a movement to connection and a willingness to lay down all resistance to reclaiming the magnificence of who we truly are. I'm talking to you. Can you feel it? Can you taste it? Are you ready to embrace it with open mind? Release the past, let it all go. Take off the mask, for there has never been a better time to stand up, claim the we I am. Take the new vibration, integrate the information, and allow the inspiration to ignite the transformation of the world into community. We all belong, we're safe, loved, united and strong. We are connected and seen, we all have purpose and meaning. We're free to explore every door in love, with love, through love. This is the now, that golden moment. Reach out and take it. It's time you own it into your heart. Now saturate it with grace and love. New life created. For we were born to be here in this time and realign with divine mind and take the light, burn it bright, reignite in love's delight to live the life of wonderment with open eyes and clear intent to be. Angels, they are watching over, sending messages of boldness, open to this information. Cells are dancing, anticipation. Yes, yes, yes. Into community where all belong, where we're safe, loved, united and strong. We are connected and seen. We all have purpose and meaning. We're free to explore every door in love, with love, through love. There's a new world, it's rising out of those old ways. That's not surprising. Straight through these hearts that have been opened, there is a wholeness. Feel it growing. A song written in 2012 as we moved through and navigated a particular gate in those times. Still very relevant as it prepared us for these times in 2020. So here we are. We're going to start out here just by remembering the old days. Now, if you can put your mind way back to March of 2020, we're going to see a different world that was in place that we were all quite used to, for better or worse. Let me see if you can remember these particular elements. Now, do you remember it was a fear-based world? That fear was an undercurrent that was everywhere. We all kind of navigated our moments just having this energy, and our adrenals were going, I can't take it anymore, and yet they kept serving us. You remember those days, the fear-based world? Boy, those were the days, huh? And how about that idea of the seduction of normal? You remember normal, about how it was so important to fit in, and it was so important to do the thing that everybody else was doing so that we could be accepted and we could be appreciated, and we would have value. You remember those days, don't you? And you remember when you got to normal, and the next thing you know, the minute you got there, it changed and normal became something else. Wasn't that a fun game? Woo! How about those days where we had faith in institutions? You know what I'm talking about, the solid, strong parts of our economy and our culture, things like politics and religion and business and education, all of those places that we really trusted were going to be doing the right thing to support us. Boy, that was so long ago. Hey, well, how about the doctrine of limitations? Do you even know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it was so subtle. It was just us believing that we were really not worth much at all, that we were limited, that we were compromised, that we had to get better, and we had to take endless self-help courses so that we could be in the same ballpark as all the people that were so cool and so. Yeah, you remember those days. I can tell. I can see it. Oh, gosh. I remember back in those days that I had no idea of who I really was. Gosh, March of 2020, so long ago. We had no clue about the magnificence of our being. We just kind of went along with things and felt, cozy in our normalcy and cozy in our comfort zone. Gosh, those were great times. Yeah. And finally, do you remember how it felt to be separate from everything? The separation and the isolation that was part of normal society, that was a regular thing. And we felt alone in life too often, even when people were around us. Boy, sometimes I long for those old days. Not really. Okay, so we've established that. Enough reminiscing. Let's look at what today is about. But in order for us to be open to the frequency of what I'm going to be offering from this point forward, I just want to put a few tenets in place, tenets being foundational elements. The first is that everything is vibration, and as vibration, everything is in constant change, a state of flow and flux. Yeah. Staying the same is not an option in this particular way of looking at and experiencing this grand and beautiful life that we're in. All right, another thing is that the outer reflects the inner. And that happens through thought, through belief, and through unprocessed energies of the moments of living. We're taught to swallow the moments of living and not express often when things don't work for us. So that is held by this magnificent body of ours who loves us so much that it will hold this crap and keep us purring right along for as long as we can handle it. The outer reflects the inner. And what I see showing up at my own altar of awareness is a magnificent reflection of what's going on inside of me. Wow, I'm telling you. And it also, another tenet is that life is lived in the now. That this moment is really the place. My future is born in the now. My now creates the next now. You mean it's not this random thing down the road that life is just going to do its dance and I'm kind of hanging on for the ride? Sure, if that's what you want. But in reality, in this higher frequency reality, we are creating our next moment of living. Wow, I like that. How about that we are so much more than we have allowed? Do you think we've been sold a bill of goods? Yeah, for whatever reason. Doesn't matter why. It matters that it is. And in a sense, it was. Because these times are about shifting that perspective and giving us back our capacity to be the higher frequency beings that we are. You bet. And that nothing is as it seems. Boy, this is a useful one, especially in these times. The facade and the distraction of what's going on, you know, the one hand doing this while the other is doing all kinds of stuff in the background. Oh my gosh, look at that, look at that, look at that person, look at, while all kinds of subterfuge is going on. Nothing is as it seems. And that is really important to keep in mind because it gives us a chance to see the big picture very quickly and then respond to that picture instead of reacting to the moments that are in front of us. And finally, I want you to know that the ideas, the words, the songs, all that I'm putting out today, it is my intent that they bypass the mind and they go into the cellular structure of you where the truth of your being is remembered. Your cells, your viscera, the energetic design that you are. It holds the knowing. And I'm just here to trigger those flavor bursts that are going to come out and reveal to you what you can do to put these things into action. I am simply a messenger here today. Having said all of that, we're just going to hang out and have fun. You don't have to believe a thing I'm saying, but I invite you to be open to it. I invite you to notice how you respond. Okay, so we've established that. So there we are. Stay in place. Boy, that was the first big adventure, wasn't it? I was coming back from Arizona. I was up in Prescott and Payson doing a mini tour that was severely already impacted by the fear that was starting to show up. And when I turned towards home, like a horse heading back to the barn, I could only go as fast as I could go, you know, within limits. And I was rushing because California was starting to shut the borders, it felt like, and things were closing down. And I just needed to get home. And once I got through that place in Needles, that little station of checking agriculture, and I made it back to Cambria, I was told right away to stay in place and to stay at home. And I went, yay, I just got home. So here I am. I live alone. So yay, thanks for telling me that that's what I have to do. But that was the end, in a sense, of the energy that I felt in that moment because things started to occur. First thing I did was clear and clean. And I started to notice, well, since I'm going to be here, let's make it the way I would really like it. That I rarely keep in place. But let's clear. There's a lot of things to get rid of. Let them go. Let them go. And boy, that was fun. And it helped to clear space. And I felt really much more comfortable in my space. And then I remembered that there were a load of shows on TV, series that I wanted to watch. So I started the binge phase of stay in place. And I watched and watched and watched until I went, I don't want to do this anymore. All right. And then the next thing I did was begin to realize that I needed a new routine. So I was establishing my new routine to replace the old one that I'd had in place that kept me occupied so that I wouldn't have to think too much. Isn't that the joy of a comfort zone that gives us the idea that we are safe and comfortable at the same time putting up huge limits about experiencing life in its fullness? Well, I wanted a new routine and I surely made it very quickly until things started to show up. Sensations in the body, thoughts, memories. I was starting to have to deal with me. The uncertainty and fear that were also on the outside were beginning to infiltrate into my space. And I had to start doing some self examination. I used to travel around the world looking for what I thought it was anywhere that I was not. The hole there within me was bigger than the sky. It seemed I was lost. I did not know why. When along came a virus, it forced me to stay. And that's when I found it. It was not far away. And when I was finally alone, I found myself a home. Never seemed to be satisfied with who I was. I thought I needed to change, sometimes just because I could not see the beauty right here in my eyes. Always looking out there in my fine-tuned disguise. When along came a virus, it forced me to stay. And that's when I found it. It was not far away. It was when I was finally alone that I found myself a home. For all the times I turned my back on me, and all the times I ran away, but never taking time to feed myself the love that I craved. For spinning tales and wandering, ignoring the call, for acting like I didn't care at all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now these are different days. They got a brand new frequency. The more I look in, the more love I can see. I have to thank this universe for the gifts I've received. The whole world has been sent to the room just to think about it, figure out, turn around to feel and find who they are. 'Cause along came the virus. It forced us to stay. And that's where we'll find it. It's not that far away. And when we are finally alone, we will find ourselves a home. For all the times I turned my back on me, all the times I ran away, for never taking time to feed myself the love that I craved, for spinning tales and wandering, ignoring the call, for acting like I did not care at all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes. That's what going home did for me. It forced me to look at things differently. And once I got the home back, made it the way that I was feeling I needed at that point, that's when I started to reawaken. That's when I started to recalibrate. And that's when I was rediscover deeper truths about me. I looked at patterns. I looked at self-defeating behaviors. I looked at unprocessed woundings. I looked at relationship with emotions that I had. I looked at what I thought about myself. And that was just the start. And in my opinion, that was the celestial purpose for creating this opportunity for us to stay in place. It was to force us to take personal stock. And with the celestial assistance of the energy pouring in and impacting you and me and every human being on this planet, we finally had an opportunity to clear and to trigger the inner release of the I am that I am expressing as me, the unique, holy expression of the God Self. So that's going on. And in the middle of it all, we also saw that the external, all the familiar was beginning to disintegrate. The things we had relied upon were beginning to fall apart and to shatter in some cases. Normal was becoming unreliable. And this forced us all, in a sense, to do something different. And that opened the deeper inner doors. And we began to rediscover, finally, our holy selves. You take away all that resistance and you tune into your heart. Stop devotion to persistence, to keeping things the way they are. And then you throw away the thinking that has you circling around. And then the next thing you notice, a new you is found. You stop the patterns you've been doing. You stop them right here and now. And tell yourself to start renewing. And tell yourself that that is allowed. And then you call for inner guidance. And then you listen for a sound. And I'm sure that you will notice a new you has been found. Well, did you know that you're amazing and that you are a living light and that your power is truly endless, that everything will be all right no matter how the form of now? Can you accept that you're essential to help this precious world alive? And you only have to be you, the you of your design. That's true. Did you know that this is you? You start responding in the moment, and trust your holy self inside. You welcome in the new vibration, the one so long you have denied. And then you open the connection and live that all of life is one. And when you're flowing in that beauty, yes, when you're flowing in that beauty, you know your real life has begun. Ah, the real life. You mean the facade is no longer? Stay in place, look at self, allow life to show up within me and to clear and cleanse. And that opens the door to the new life. I like that. Nicely done, Cosmos. Wow. So here we are, stay in place one, as I called it. The first phase, we know what it did, but it ended too soon. In my experience and my belief, we were just on the cusp of, I would even say, a worldwide awakening and remembering on a deep level of a lot of people who were on the fence. But suddenly stuff had cleared enough that they were able to begin to see the light within and without. But the economic pressure and the devotion and addiction to making sure the economy stayed fresh and vibrant got in the way. And the floodgates opened, the doors opened like the first day of summer, last day of school, and everybody ran outside and they started doing normal. And I had been here in the place where I live in Cambria and had begun to experience a magnificent relationship with nature at a level that I really had not felt since I was a boy. It was sweet, it was gentle, it was connective. The human machine had ground to a halt, and we were doing life again and had the opportunity. But the first day that things opened up again, I took a drive to the next town, and the intensity was on the highway again. And people were being aggressive, and all of that pent-up energy began to reveal itself. The anger, the frustration, the rage, all began to take action, and we saw how it unfolded over a period of time up till now. I'm not saying in any way that the unfoldings are not critical to the new world. They absolutely are. But so much was filled and fueled by the energies of being pent up and kept up that the wave and the tide exploded. We saw the results. We experienced the results. And we are in a new world right now, a new world that is revealing itself through the higher hearts and the compassionate capacity that we each are by design to show up for one another, to show up for the equality of life. And here we are on the cusp. And we are entering here the understanding that the outer reflects the inner. And here's where it gets interesting, because stay in place phase 2, which seems to be on knocking on the door, and it may already be in place down there in Arizona, is a whole different one. This is about consciously being accountable to self and showing up in a new frequency and a new vibration to help bring about the changes that I know are here. So in order to navigate this particular phase, there's a couple things that are important. One of them, keep your vibration up. Keep it as high as you possibly can. The second is stay energetically clear. And the third is to focus on self-care. So let me flesh it out with an action. In terms of keeping your vibration up, the one way that I know that keeps it going all the time and keeps me in a place of protection, not from fear, but because I want to keep my vibration high so that I can access the truth of my being, is to speak my birth name, Mark Stanton Welch. When I do that, I call forth the original template of the I am that I am expressing as me, and it shows itself up and gives me the truth of my being to be available in my moment of living. I have to call it a lot to keep it there, because right now it's not used to being here. When I speak my name, I also bring forth and set a cocoon of energy around me, light vibration that keeps my frequency as it is, allowing nothing of lower frequency to enter. Not that it's bad. This is not a fear-based experience. It's strictly me wanting to be the best of me when I interface with life. And the third thing it does is it calls forth the angelic energies, the guides, the teachers, to be present as I need them to help me find my glasses, or however you want to use it. The third element of practicing impeccable self-care is critical to maintaining the foundation and the high vibration that is needed in these times. When you sustain and take good care of yourself and all of your needs, what you find is you have so much more to give, and you're able to show up without being depleted. You become way more effective. So here's one quick thing to do. At the end of the day, the last thing you want to do is go to bed with something unsaid. So one thing you can do is to go into your routine place, which is usually the bathroom, and you're going to open up the lid of the golden throne in there, and you are going to speak anything that was unspoken through the course of the day into the water. The water will bind that energy, and you speak like a sailor as necessary. You say what you need to say, release it, and when you're done, you reach down and you flush, and away go troubles down the drain. There's legitimacy to this because what it does is it allows your sleep to be safe and restful, and allows you to not problem solve or have to deal with issues that were unprocessed. We're keeping our vibration high, and when we do, life shows up differently. And when we go out in the world, when we come back, we want to make sure that we set our field so before we walk into the sacred space of our home. So what we're going to do, I invite you, is to take your hand like a knife, and you're going to cut away any cords that have attached to your chakras in your particular frequency field. And one way to do it is to use an Egyptian empowerment, and it goes sa cherep na, sa cherep na. So I am separating myself from the influence of life as it has been through the course of my time away from home. And one more reminder, when I leave my home, I speak my birth name. And when I speak my birth name, I set the cocoon to go out to interface. When I come back, I make sure I clear my field, and then I go into my sacred space, the home that I have created vibrationally, to then live in the frequency of being me and learn more about myself. So these are times of conscious transformation, and there are some jump starts that you can use to navigate this. So let me just put these out very quickly for you. The first thing to do is trust life. What? Yes, trust life. And you know how to trust life? Trust life. You have to make that leap into knowing that that which shows up for you is exactly what is in alignment with your frequency, and that will support you in remembering more fully who you are and being able to put it into practice. The second thing, turn off the news. Enough said. Third thing, clear out space. We've already done the house. Let's go inside now. And we're going to go ahead and let go of old thinking, old patterns, old beliefs, old energies held, emotions unexpressed. When you give permission to this and start paying attention to the body's response, then you're going to find that you can clear energy very quickly and reclaim the higher frequency, which is the truth of your being. We go now to connecting with others. But wait, I'm in stay in place. I can't connect. Yes, you can. You can do it energetically. You can reach across time and space because, well, you know, higher thinking here, higher ideas. You can reach across time and space and make connections. Whenever you go out, you send love and you give love to anybody that crosses your path, because that is not an accidental crossing. We interface with those that have information and energetics to share back and forth. So give it from a love space. Whew. And also use the internet. Use your tools. Use the phone. Make connections. Really important. Feel. Make sure you feel. These are the days when we rediscover the power and presence of honest and legitimate feeling. We learn the parameters of each emotion, how they work in the body, how we can support the movement and the energy and the clearing and release. And we go back to the place of not having any stored unexpressed emotion, and we find how life then shows up for us in very legitimate ways that allow us to thrive in the moments of living. The next thing is to wake up imagination and wonder. Perhaps you haven't even heard of imagination and wonder since you were a little one. That was the life we had. Reclaim the wonder of discovering things for the first time. Start problem solving, if you will. Look for opportunity to use imagination to create. Oh my gosh, what if we did this? Here's a solution to that. Play with that. Communicate it with your friends. Communicate it to yourself. Connect with the cosmos and let them know that you've got the answer to all issues. Why not? Why not? The next thing is to rediscover nature because that is the place where you can sustain the higher vibration. Nature will feed you, it will nurture you, it will cleanse you, it will delight you, and it will just entertain you over and over again. So get outside, get your body and your feet on the earth. The next thing is to move and dance. All is vibration. And if you try to stay static, then you are pushing against the river, my friend. It's all about flow. And when you move and allow yourself to be fluid, then you are in alignment with the flow. And when you flow, life flows with you. No resistance. No resistance. And sing. Use the voice to massage the inner organs to clear away any debris to support the process of clarifying and releasing, and also sing because it brings joy. If you want to really underscore the power of singing, then sing songs that have higher frequency lyric and energy about them, like my stuff, or any other artist who is singing and creating higher frequency music. Because when you do, it serves you and helps to in a sense, reprogram your subconscious thinking, which then creates new beliefs that create new results. Finally, use sound in the form of intentional use of words. When you claim through the spoken word, you create and manifest that which you deserve and desire in alignment with the words that are spoken. There is no law more powerful than that one and more active and growing in these times. Here's an example. I am a spiritual being having a human experience in a physical body. I carry within me the deep knowing that I have all my tools, skills, and capacities as that spiritual being available to me at any time I consciously choose to call them forth and act from them. In this state of infinite, transcendent living, I carry the ongoing template of I am that I am expressing as me to call upon and live from at any now moment, and so it is, and so it is. God, I'm just buzzing from saying something like that. You know what I'm talking about. Here's another one. Life is trustworthy. The more I live as if, then the more it delivers the trusting experience. The events and people brought into my altar of awareness are part of an orchestrated flow of just what will amplify my awareness, clear debris, and deliver exactly what I need to remember who I am by design. I remain open to the forms and bless them for arriving at just the right and perfect time, and so it is. So, do you feel the energy of those kinds of statements? I can hardly contain myself when I start to say these things because this is the life that I want to be in. These are the frequencies I want to live in and from and be in those frequencies. And to seal the deal, you practice gratitude because gratitude is the great magnetic attractor of the life that we intend. Here's an example. I am grateful for the ever-changing flow of life. I celebrate my capacity to choose to let go of what has been, to lay down the pull of the familiar, to be fully open to the infinite possibility of this brand new now. I give thanks for my willingness to cleanse the old, to be fresh for each morning's gift. I am grateful that I will be well taken care of when I let go. Can you feel the vibration of all of this stuff that has been shared? You know, and you've known all along since March, that something was afoot. It was bigger than we were being led on to believe. It was less fear-driven, but truth-driven, and now we're beginning to see the truth underneath that, and it's in your hands to make choices about what to do with that. That's what it comes down to, my friends. That's what it comes down to. And I want you to know that there will be a link provided somewhere between now and the end of our service here where you can access a host of resources that will support your conscious movement into higher frequency living. And so I invite you to join me there, and we shall reclaim magnificence together. Who wants to do it alone? Yes. So follow that link and check it out and see if it serves you. So finally, here in closing, at the magnificent Holy Cafe, Unity of Mesa, I want to say this, and I'm going to read it. Why not? The virus has afforded us a profound opportunity to rise into the higher vibrational living we are designed to experience in this remarkable earth plane that loves us and provides for us without hesitation. As we choose constant self-care, clarity, open-hearted compassion, and intentional conscious action, we shall begin to thrive in ways that we could not have even imagined way back in March of 2020. Whew. These are the times when we experience and we embrace the sweeping panorama of life, and we just rediscover what life is, indeed, and has always been free. Life is free. Thanks for listening. Some people push and pull to make their life move. They think without a this or that life is out of the groove. I got a message that can remedy that. Live in the flow of now. That's where it's at. Life is free. Life is free. When there is pressure, I go for a walk. When I am down, I reach out for a talk. Breathing, singing, dancing, take away any cares. The moment's all mine to take me anywhere. Life is free. Life is free. I've taken courses, I've read 1,000 books to change the way I am and change the way I look. When everything I'll ever need is waiting inside, that's where I'm going. I'm gonna let myself fly. 2, 3, 4. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ooh. Now make a smile, return to a time when you were happy and your life was so fine. Breathe it in and bring it into the now. Freedom within, it's what this life is about. Life is free. Yeah, life is free. I've taken courses and I read 1,000 books to change the way I am and change the way I look. When everything I'll ever need is waiting inside, living inside. Yeah, that's where I'm going. I let myself fly. Come on, now we go. La 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 la. Ooh. No limitations, no restrictions at all. We're here to love and laugh and never play small. The sky, trees, and ocean waiting for you to celebrate the beauty of this greater truth that life is free. Yeah, indeed, life is free. Go out there, experience that. Life is free in this beautiful place of your home, wherever you find yourself. Life is free, life is free. Endless blessings. life is free.
Thank you, Mark, so much. Thank you for being willing to share with our community and for your words of wisdom. I've always appreciated them so much, and you've been such an important part of my spiritual growth. And now we just hold these words of wisdom in our hearts. We open ourselves up to moving forward into new awareness, new consciousness, maybe new behaviors for ourselves even as we look at what's ours to do. And we're blessed by this community. And I'm going to invite Mark to sing us out with the prayer for protection. Have a blessed week, everyone. Namaste.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us wherever we are. God is. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us wherever we are. God is. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us wherever we are. God is, 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 God is. And that's for sure. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. My life is beautiful. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. My life is beautiful. There's plenty of love, plenty of light, plenty of breath to feed me life. Endless ways, endless dreams, endless thoughts I can believe. Open hearts, open arms, open hands that bring no harm. An inner guide to walk me home. The courage, the courage, the courage to trust and let go. Oh, I have enough. I do enough. I have enough. My life is beautiful. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. My life is beautiful. There's plenty of love, plenty of light, plenty of breath to feed me life. Endless ways, endless dreams, endless thoughts I can believe. Open hearts, open arms, open hands that bring no harm. An inner guide to walk me home. The courage, the courage, the courage to trust and let go. Oh, I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. My life is beautiful. Indeed.